Getting logged in, getting things set up. I do highly apologize for being late. Just give me a second. I'm a little bit out of breath, even if you can't hear it. Um, but yeah, super excited to tune back in. This first stream is not going to take that long for a second quarter tarot reading, but then I will be back for sure in order to play some Resident Evil 9. So it's going to be two VODs today, okay? The first, right here, right now, is going to be the second quarter tarot card reading and predictions coming up for the next 3 months from March, April, May. So March, April, May is the second quarter tarot card reading. Probably leaning somewhere halfway throughout June is when I'm hearing from Spirit. So the second VOD, do not be weary. I know this is a little bit of a curveball because you guys are expecting 2 p.m. Central Standard Time is Resident Evil 9 time. I wanted to be here a couple of hours earlier, but then I slept in this morning. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I slept in this morning because I got off work super late, like half an hour after midnight, and then I couldn't fall asleep until like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then I'm up all night worrying about stressing about personal stuff and what I want to come online here and talk to you guys about in regards to parasocialism. But before I get into that discussion, I want to do the tarot card reading with you guys. So, in all those accusations that been thrown my way and why many people are gravitating away from me. Also, we can't forget about the daily stoicism. I'll read the daily stoicism when it comes to Resident Evil 9 VOD, but for now, I want to break out the tarot cards for this second quarter prediction for 2026. Welcome in, welcome in. Let me get chat pulled up real quick, even though I'm not really going to be interacting with chat during this VOD. Okay, just I'm going to pull it up for the sanity of seeing like who's here and who's not. Even if you're not here during the live view, you could always catch me on the rewind on the VOD. Okay. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the follows, all the likes, all the love and support that you guys been giving me over the last year. And I can't be any more thankful for you guys. Like, I couldn't be any more thankful for those who are showing up and who are currently here. Okay? Um, Let me get chats popped out real quick. Pop out chat. Put it over yonder. And I hope you guys are doing well today. I've been running around all this morning, doing laundry, adulting, paying bills, and whatnot. So I hope you normal thing. Sorry about that. I don't know why the view changed up for a second. Sorry about that. Um, Must have glitched, or I probably pressed something by accident. Sorry about that. If you didn't hear anything that I just said by changing views, maybe you did, maybe you did not. I don't know. Glitches are bound to happen. Let me get shuffled up real quick. I want to wish everyone a lovely, lovely day. Today is March 4th. Yep, March 4th. And about 10 days from now, it's going to be what you know as Pi Day. And I've been saying this for a very, very long time, and it's not just because I had a recent fallout and the reason why I'm saying I like this flavor of pie. But even before I even met this person, I adored and I freaking love cherry pie. Okay, just for a disclaimer out there. First card came out for Two of Swords. It's going to be a 9 card pull and then some verification cards. There will not be a post on my Instagram. I'm a little bit lost in the sauce, lost in the mess real quick of all the energies, and I only have so much energy to follow. That's why I got my caramel macchiato here. my caramel latte. There's been some changes to my background, of course. If you guys haven't already known, but I'll get into that later. Um, I'm gonna save that discussion for the RE9 VOD. How about that? So this is like more professional. Whoever finds this video, okay? If you guys already follow me, this is your boy Healer Nico. I am Healer Nico. I'm a certified light worker and spiritualist. Certified training from Amber Valdez and Teal Swan. If you guys don't know who that is, make sure you pop on over to my Discord. It's available in my bio on all my platforms, I think. You can find me on Insta, on TikTok. You can find me on YouTube. If you guys are viewing me on YouTube right now, or on Purple App, I am Healer Nico for all those platforms, and I also have an alt account called Nico Moon. You guys can follow me if you guys are interested in the creative process of things when it comes to like poetry or pottery. Okay, so we got shuffled up. Let me pull the first four cards because that's enough room I have on my space right now. Let me just move some stuff real quick so I get a little bit more space for you guys. Been running around all morning, guys. I am dreadfully tired, but I am still here showing up for you guys because it's the will of the gods. It's the will of the spirit for me to show up with you for you guys. Did a little boo-boo just jump? That was weird. Okay, spirit. Everything is collapsing. Okay, just give me a second. Give me a second. Things were collapsing. Don't know why things are collapsing, but they did. That must be a message by spirit. Oh, crap. There goes Evie. Everything's falling over, chat. Oh, my God. Okay. All right, so let's continue. Two of Swords, the Hermit in reverse, the Fool in reverse, and Three of Wands in reverse. So the energies that I'm reading, and I gotta read these energies looking into the future, okay? So just give me a moment as I take a moment to look at these cards. The energies that I've been feeling even before coming live with you guys. I'm hearing the duality of man. The duality of man. So you might have friends or family that come to you in the next 2 or 3 months, if not already. It can be present or future energy for the year of 2026. Family and friends are giving you unsolicited advice, even though it's their best intentions to give you advice, what they think that you should be doing in your own life. That's the Hermit in reverse energy. And the Fool in reverse, despite everyone's unsolicited advice that they're giving you, you know exactly who you are and what you're about. I remember giving this reading sometime last year in 2025 about really like owning your energy and like standing your ground, showing up with courage and bravery, right? But here in 2026, it's more of a hmm. You're feeling going on here. My bit rate is dropping. My bit rate is dropping. Don't know why I have my Ethernet cord plugged in. Oh man, hold on. Okay, that's so weird. Go to my stream manager to make sure everything's good. But anyways, so you got Two of Wands. Okay, this is your duality of man. Duality of man. So between goods and evils of this world. And keep in mind that Spirit says that humans came up with the notion of good and evil. In spiritual fifth dimension world of things, evil and good does not exist. It is all ever flowing energy. Humanity likes to get a sense of control over anything and everything in their lives, in their own point of view of things, and we love to control others and their personal point of views on how they see things, how they view things, how they believe in things, so they can side with us in our personal beliefs, right? So there's a constant push and pull energies in that paradigm. And that's like ever since the beginning of time in human nature. It's a very nuanced thing, and it's it's a very immature energy, and it's like humans think that they're the only species in this entire galaxy, in this entire universe, and for anyone who thinks as such is a very immature energy about them, and they don't share your same beliefs that you do. So if you believe there's an extraterrestrials, if you believe in like entities other than humanity as like a world globe thing goes, and you think outside the box, you're this kind of thinker, you show up in a more open-minded state of being. You're not impulsive. Um, you view everyone else as like not, I don't want to say immature, okay, but it's like they're not at your span of maturity and your level of spiritual awakening. They aren't at your level of wisdom or intellect that you have occurred all these last several years, if not in the last decade, that you've been spiritually awoken. So even if you're new to spiritual awakening or what that entails, I'm not really going into the nuance of like what spiritual awakening is, because it's personal for each individual soul. And while this, just pick up what resonates with you and drop what doesn't. Okay, keep an open mind. I'm sure you already do. So, regardless of all these unsolicited advice, regardless of all these setbacks that are happening in your life, regardless of what zodiac sign you are, like all zodiacs can relate to this message. So, out of all of your deepest desires, your wants, needs, and desires, and all of your best efforts, no matter how much you show up for people, you continue to give love on a platter for other people, even though you're not necessarily receiving that kind of love back in reciprocal, okay, in response to that. Further clarifications to that, the tower card, there's a tower moment. Um, because of other people's false images or about you, or they're hearing like your name being spread about among society or in your personal circle, whatever the case might be, whether if it's among friends or family or your inner circle, there's some snakes in the grass, okay? There's always going to be a snake in the grass. There's always going to be a hater out there. There's always going to be someone who's going to continuously try to put you down because they're threatened by your light. They're threatened by your goodness and what you're providing for this world. Okay? Even if you feel like you haven't done or met yourself up to your own like set high expectations of yourself, just know their fallacies or falsehoods that they're making up about you are not true. Let's just get that clear right now. You know within inside of your heart and your body, your mind, and your soul that whatever these accusations they're saying about you, this very tower moment is going to be like a wake up call for a lot of people. Okay, and you feel knocked down. You feel like this is like a sudden urge, a change, like destructive energy. Okay, so even though there's so much chaos and destruction happening around you, you're the only subtle factor that's carrying you through. Okay, you're the only grounding factor that can get yourself regrounded, come back to the zero, come back to that point of certainty. You know, go back on the serenity prayer, go back to where all your motivations came from, come back to what you believed in as a child, um, come back to the point of communicating with your inner child. um, Feel unrestricted. There's an unrestricted flow that's clearly flowing out of you endlessly. And this pisses off our haters. This pisses off people who know that they try in all of their power and all of their being to try to control you and what you're trying to personally do in the expansion of humanity. All you're trying to do is come out here is to spread the truth, spread the message, spread love and light among all of your friends and all of your family. And despite everyone's hardships and despite everyone's misunderstanding or miscommunications about you, you know these fallacies and you know these falsehoods not to be true, right? Further clarification. So you got the Eight of Wands, which is the card of communication, right? So You're bringing the good word. You're bringing the good news. You're bringing that word of love to people. And even though it stings them in the heart because they've been betrayed and hurt in their past, in their personal past, that they don't like hearing or being reminded of how good love is or should be. So this is you. This is your Knight of Cups energy. This is you delivering that message of love, okay? Very a romantic, very compassionate individual that you are. So you're an ideologist, like, or you could even be a realist in that sense. And even though these setbacks are constantly trying to remind us on how broken the world is, you're tuning back into your certain self. You know who you are versus how however many people are viewing you out to be. Okay, so just understand that you are a people person. As much as you are a people person, that doesn't make you a people pleaser. Okay? There's a difference between interdependence and humanity, and a difference between codependence and relationships overall. There's a huge difference in how do you mind that gap. How do you allow other people to arrive where you are? Instead, flip flop that energy. Arrive where other people are. You aren't always going to get the exact response or the results that you're looking for in other people, because you are that result. You are that response. You are that individual that continuously reminds people of that light and love, despite how deep in the void, in the dark that they feel. And it's a very trapped energy. More further clarifiers. You got the Queen of Wands in reverse. You become easily lost in the sauce. Let me just say that. You become easily bored. You crave that attention. Like, you crave in order to be the center of attention, but you don't do it in a way where, like, narcissists will do. You do it in a way where you ask permission, so then you can fill that space. Because let's be honest, love, like, you're the type of person and your type of energy, as soon as you walk in that room, everybody gets so lit up and excited. Like, it happens to me all the time, guys. Like, when I enter that space, enter that room, it's like, oh my god, hey Nico, it's like, where you been at? Where are you? Like, I missed you. Like, even though you haven't even been gone that long, like, you give that sudden urgent response of reciprocal energy of whatever you deliver is exactly what you're receiving back, if not times 10. You're receiving that kind of love back in times 10, even though you may not feel like you're receiving that kind of love in return. So further clarifier is the Magician. You're regaining the self confidence in yourself, and you're coming back to the 0 point. When I mean what I say when you're coming back to the 0 point is your most centered self, your most inner self about your own personal expansive truth that you're providing for this world, and it's getting drowned out by all the politics. It's getting drowned out by all the divisionism, separationism. It's getting drowned out by all the chaos that is surrounding you, and it's making you feel very bleak and down about yourself. So in the next couple of months, further clarifier, 3 clarifier cards for the next coming 3 months, and what is to be known and what is to be seen. So even though there's going to be further block and delays within this message that you're trying to deliver, Spirit and the High Priestess energy. So you got Ace of Wands in reverse, the High Priestess, Major Arcana, and then you got the Chariot in reverse, Major Arcana. So even though the Spirit is asking you to remain calm, remain still, and remain silent in the chaos. So even though that you're speaking the word, you're speaking that message of love, you're speaking your universal truth of things, a lot of individuals are going to block out what you have to say. A lot of individuals are not going to want to arrive where you are, because they rather be in their disassociative point of view, in their closed mindset. Like, I'm constantly seeing like this going on. No, nope, I'm not looking. Nope, I'm not listening. Nope, I'm not wanting to speak it because I don't resonate with it. I don't want to feel it because I want to stay far, far away from my emotions. That's where humanity is going in for 2026. So to recap, the fourth quarter reading of 2025. If you guys haven't already watched that video for the 2026 tarot card predictions, which I'll remind you guys, it's all about the empath. It's all about getting back to your feelings, getting back to your emotions, and getting back to who you truly are as an inner soul living this human experience. So 2026 is the year of the empath. There are no walls, there are no boundaries, and there's nothing that's holding you back except for others, okay? So others are going to try to kick you off your high horse. Other people are going to try to prevent you from moving forward in your career pathway and your personal growth and expansion, your personal successes, what if it comes to romance or dating, because they're so threatened by your light, they're looking to destroy everything that is associated with you. And I know that's not very good outlook for the second quarter of 2026, but this is the clear, concise energy that's coming to me, y'all. So you guys need to hear this when I say this. Even though the chariot came in reverse, the chariot is all about movement, and because it came in reverse, there's blockages, there's going to be hurdles, there's going to be walls that are going to be put up before you, and it's not another life lesson. I'm going to tell you this right now, guys. It's not another life lesson for you, but it's going to be a life lesson for other people that when you're speaking your truth, your message of love, and you're arriving where other people are, and despite whether if they don't want to see it or read what you have to read or write out, if they don't want to hear what you have to say, and if they don't want to acknowledge your, it's not all about you wanting attention, right? It's about you being present there for others, and your presence is power, okay? Power is presence. That's what I'm hearing over and over and over again. So further on, in middle of May, so you got the Hangman coming in standard, and then you got the Lady in the Garden, Nine of Pentacles. Um, so you are being very successful because the Nine of Pentacles suggests that you are very successful. Other people, other energies who are threatened by your goodness, by your extreme light, when they've been living in the dark for so long, they become blind to the light. And once they become awakened again and they ever feel like they're coming alive again or coming towards the warm, cozy, comfortable feeling again, they're very like a hiss energy. They're very turned off by the light because they've been so lost in the dark for so long. Whenever they see the light threatens everything that is darkness because the light illuminates everything back into the light of things, quite literally, and it breaks the shadows. It literally breaks apart the darkness and brings the hidden things behind the scenes to light. And these beings that work in the darkness or work for the darkness don't want the light to overcome. Despite my personal liking for Ghostface or like killer films or horror in general, it is just a healthy way of acknowledging the darkness that exists in all of us. There's that very healthy balance, okay? So even though you're feeling tied up, even though you feel like your 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 very character is being tested, your authentic self is being tested by others. Is this guy or this gal really just acting just to be liked or just to be followed or just to gain attention or to gain that extra penny or gain that extra dollar? And the answer for you is no, that's not the truth. You're living a life of comfort despite all this chaos that is happening around you. You are you're financially abundant. Like you are successful. You know yourself out to be this way. But you are so humble in that fact that you don't flaunt it in other people's faces. The way that you go about it is very humble energy. Like, despite all the persecution that comes your way constantly, even though it hits you right there in the gut at your dantian, okay, the very center of who you are, you take everything a lot personally. And get it. Get this, love, when I say this. Everything in life is going to be personal. Whenever you hear anyone say that, oh, it's not personal, just get over it, because someone says something down and out and mean or bad about you, and especially when it's lies about you, You don't have to accept that negativity. It is your choice within the serenity of who you are to, to distinguish between the things you can and cannot change, to distinguish what is in your control and what is not in your control. And a lot of us empaths, if you resonate out to be an empath, okay, just know us empaths feel very, very deeply. If not, if you resonate out to be a very open minded and no boundaries empath, Spirit is here to remind you that it's healthy to have certain walls and boundaries up, okay? You can feel to the very depths and the center of who you are, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to change who you are just because you feel deeply for the world. And you have such a strong empathic ability that you stem on beyond this world, okay? You feel into the fifth dimension, you feel into the spirit world. Okay, this is how far your deep empathic powers have enveloped. Another clarifier onto what's coming towards March, April, May, leaning more towards June. Queen of Cups, you are still in your nurturing energy. So, Spirit is suggesting in the next 3 months, despite all this chaos and all this evil, this quote unquote evil, remember what I said about this human ego and pride about good and evil? It's a very humanistic thing to feel between good and evil, what's good, what's evil, what's right, what's wrong, okay? You know in the 0 point of who you are, in the Dantia of who you are, you know who yourself out to be. And quite literally, if you're not a creative, an artist, a healer, a light worker, someone who is a supportive figure in your community, and for all those inner people within your inner circle to be reminded of that love that you're continuously to give out towards the people that like you, and even towards the people that don't like you. Remind them of that very greater grapevine that you grew from, this very tree nut that you grew from, the seed that you grew from out of the rough and the soil out. Like even if it's like a lotus flower going weeding through the mud and the guck of life, right? These journeys, these spiritual journeys that go on, nothing's a straight and linear path. There's going to be curvature moments that happen in your life, especially in the next quarter. Despite all this chaos that's going to continuously happen around you, because everyone's screaming, everyone's yelling, there's violence and death everywhere. No matter what you're reading on the news, whether it's real news or fake news, it's just about fear mongering and control. People want to get you on their side because they want to be right. They want to be heard. They want to be seen. Okay? But the way you're going upon this, my dear empath, even if you don't resonate to be out as an empath, like even if this message still resonates with you and you're a very sympathetic person and you care about lives and you care about other people, you continuously arrive there for people. And despite all the evils and the chaos and the violence that's happening in this world around us, my love, listen when I say this. Go back to yoga, go back to meditation, go back to the very old practices that you once did. And I'm holding myself accountable when I say this too, when I say this to y'all. You're very intuitive, you have an inner knowing, you have inner intelligence, you've connected, you've done the shadow work, the inner child work, you've done all these things to get up to this point in your spiritual journey. And nobody ever said, hey, abundance was given to you on a silver platter. You have the people once told you you have a silver spoon underneath your mouth. And you know that's not to be true because you grew up in a very hard upbringing. And throughout your entire life, it's been this constant roller coaster of like, okay, there's a little up and then a major down, a little up and a major down. So it feels like even though you're not doing success in your life or bringing success and awareness of truth and love in other people's lives around you, you are reaching out to people. You are impacting people's hearts. You are an ultimate factor in the reasons why you're showing up for people the way that you are, despite all the hate, all the lies that are made up about you, despite everything that's going on in this world, you still come back and arrive for people. You still come back with loving iron fist from the angels, from the gods directly above, from higher power, from source, whatever you want to call it. People know you have this innate ability to tap into the center of people's hearts, to get past all their boundaries, to get past all the nitty gritty avenues of these unhealthy paradigms that people have in their personal lives, and they project it onto you to pretend that you are the problem. That's what people do. Hurt people hurt people. You hear this and you continue to hear this year after year, time after time. Okay? So the Queen of Cups is your final card. Beyond that, bottom of the deck energy to close out this reading, okay? Because I don't want to make this any longer than what it has to be. So, Page of Wands. You're an enthusiast, okay? You know the innate creative abilities that reside in you, okay? And see all these zodiac signs above. You got Cancer, Virgo, and Aries, okay? Very, very mutable energies there, okay? Very fiery energies. You ever hear about the Lion King and the very have heart of a lion, okay? So even though you feel like a caged lion and there's a lot of chaos happening outside the cage, and it's very like dual energy, okay? You hear the duality of man. Even though a lot of people fear the lion, a lot of people misunderstand the lion. Immediately cage that lion because the notion is that a lion is to be feared because the lion is such a fierce and violent animal and being and energy that they automatically have to cage that energy and control that energy before it gets let loose and kills everything, right? So when is the like I'm not saying like in the physical form of things, energetically and spiritually, how close have you been to an actual lion? Okay? Have you ever stood in front of a lion before? Because of the pre-notions that society gives us about how we should react to things and how we should be before we can actually determine our own notions on things. Okay, so coming in the second quarter of 2026, you're doing the thing. Okay, and if you're finding this video is clearly for you. Just understand and know that you're not in the wrong, my love. You haven't ever been in the wrong, even though you've acted upon some things that you know in the fact that you shouldn't have acted upon certain things, but that's a very humanistic and very human side of you. Okay, whatever those things entail. But then there's exaggeration about those things that you previously thought or previously spoke upon or previously done, not to others but in front of others, and then they view you as a hypocrite because of the very things that you're teaching, the very things that you're acting upon isn't necessarily things that you're doing in real time. Even though these, according to other people, even though in your eyes of things that you're showing up for people and good intentions and good graces, in their good graces, and then leading into misconceptions, misunderstandings, and even extruded lies about you. Okay? So in the second quarter of 2026, March, April, and May, leading into June, okay, continuously harnessing your truth. And remember, in my 2026 prediction reading for the entire year, it's the year of the empath, okay? So in the year of empath, it's going to be a continuous, nuanced pushback because people don't want to feel, people don't want to face the truth of what they're refusing to feel, let alone not knowing how to process emotions, okay? So they project upon you as if like you're the evil one for reminding them of what it feels like to be alive, to have a heartbeat, to show up for others. And so, in this very manipulative way that people project onto you, they will skew you and try to skew your image as the best way that they know how and the best way that they can. So then they look like the top dog or the upper dog or like they have the upper hand above you. And you, my dear empath, you're not in it for the competition. You're not in it to win it. You are here because of love and relationships. Spirit's telling me to pull another card. So Four of Cups in reverse. Even though Many are feeling very withdrawn, or you flip the energy. You yourself is feeling withdrawn or beaten up spiritually or energetically. You feel energetically beat up because it's like, okay, well, Spirit's asking me to continuously show up for everyone. But energetically, emotionally, spiritually, I'm being beat up to a pulp. Even though it's not physically being manifested right here before you, there's a very abusive energy in, like, I see someone like spiritually, energetically being beat up all the time, bullied or let down. That's you, my love. Despite all of this, it's very a rocky energy. Like, let's go on to say, like, Rocky 4, like Rocky 5, like, you're back on top. Like, you've already beat that big bad Russian, okay? You've already beat that big bad enemy. Like, not with violence or hate, but with your love, with your truth, and you killed them with kindness. Like, you adapted and overcame. You worked through that muck and guck energy just so you can see the day of light again, the light of day again. So there's your reading, my loves. We're going to continue on for the second VOD. Thank you for the second quarter 2026 reading and prediction. Just understand the duality of man, and just understand, even though when you're feeling like you're lost in the sauce, you're not truly lost. Those are projections being placed upon you, my love, because you're such a deep feeling empath and you care so much about other people beyond yourself. It's a very sacrificial energy, to be honest. And I can't be more proud of you. I can't be more than proud of you to say, like, no matter how many times you wanted to, like, unalive yourself or, like, no longer want to be here, you're still here. And you may know that, like, loved ones or friends or close people that are, like, could be family to you, or not even blood relative, like, that have passed away, or you know of someone that recently passed away, or it could have been a celebrity figure that's greatly impacted your entire life that's no longer alive anymore. Like, that very kind of energy now lives in you, my love. And if it hasn't now, it has then. It's your time to tap back in, even though you're being faced with all this backlash continuously. This is the job of the empath. The hardest spiritual journey that you could ever go through and envelop is being an empath. Okay? So don't beat up yourself, and don't be the one to give up, because higher power, higher source, God, whatever you believe in, even if you don't believe in all that, you were placed here for a reason. You were here to be the voice of people. You were here to bring that reminder of truth, light, and love back into people's hearts. Despite all the gaps in society, all the gaps in divisionism and separationism, and all the fear mongering that's happening in this world, you've got the cards in your hands. I love you. This has been a 2020 second quarter reading. 2026 second quarter reading. I don't know, something about 2020 that is resonating in your old energy. Bring up that 2020 energy. Even if, like, the high peak of COVID-19, despite you going through all this sickness and trials, you survived, you adapted, you worked through. You're still here, and you, my love, my empath, you are a fighter. So keep on keeping on. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Salam alaikum. And I hope you guys have a great second quarter. Love you guys. Remember, don't let them beat you up spiritually and energetically anymore, because you are a spiritual warrior and I love you. Just know that. And tune in for the second VOD for Resident Evil 9. See you guys there. Bye.